MVP. Spawning in the top right, bronze finals, InfamousXII. One game won, wins this one, he secures a spot in the victory of the bronze finals, gets $25 PayPal, and gets 2 hours training from myself. So what a lucky young man if he wins. But we are not counting Wyattearp out. He has 2 chances here if he wins game 1. And if he wins game 2, or game 2 and 3 actually, he can actually, you know, get training from me. So both players are extremely nervous. This is the game of their life. There's nothing more on the line here than 2 hours with me. It's exciting, and I'm speechless right now. I'm not even gonna talk. No, let's let you do the talking now.
I expect to see something very similar from Infamous this game as what he did last game, since it worked out so well. Although since it is such a bigger map, Wyattearp might have more time to prepare. Might be able to get the Banshee out of Ficus for the same thing and actually be able to stop the attack from Infamous, but we'll see if that's what they decide to do.
That is a good choice, and right now my throat is killing me and I need to take a drink of water, so keep talking, please.
Wyatt is actually scouting south of his base, and on Shakur's Plateau you can't spawn on top of each other, so you have to be on the other side of the map, so there's no reason to scout that position. I think a lot of people don't know that, and I didn't know it for a while, so there you go, now you know.
Now you know, and we are seeing Infamous scouting now, doing a little bit of harassment here, taking some serious damage on that SCV there, pulling it around. We do have an SCV on the way, but oh wow, good maneuvering from that SCV, just randomly using the AI to its advantage, and Barracks is being finished. Wyattearp still going the wrong way, not scouting his opponent, but really nothing to be scouted yet. Now we are doing that standard one guy in refinery build here. You know, when you're not needing gas, you really only need one guy in gas. But looks like he's deciding he wants to tech up and transferring guys into the gas. In Infamous's base, we have nothing going on. We are building a marine, and that's it. So really nothing going on this early in the game. But hopefully we'll see something. Now if we look at the income tab, 15 harvesters for Infamous, 14 for Wyattearp. He is slipping on his SCV production. You want to constantly be building SCVs the entire game until you hit about 75, 80 harvesters, and then you can usually chill at that point. But since neither of those players are near that amount, they should, you know, probably keep building.
And Infamous is throwing down a factory now, and it was scanned, so let's see. Looks like Wyatt's going for a second barracks. A little bit of divergence in their plays here.
Yep. Now, I would be interested in seeing some Blue Flame Hellions here. Those are extremely powerful, but it's not like we're doing that. We're just constantly pumping out Marines, and usually when you do something like this, where you're constantly building the Marines and getting the factory, you usually see a Banshee play coming, because you're not getting the tech lab on that Banshee. If you're going Siege Tanks, you're going to want to only get Stim to, you know, balance with the Siege Tanks, but we'll probably be seeing some Banshees. So there's the starport and the reactor, actually. So this is an extremely interesting build coming from Infamous. We do have 3 racks being built for Wyattearp. Quite a few Marines here. Not building out of one of them. He's not even getting an add-on on that one, and it's an interesting choice here. Usually you want to get...
Do you think we're going to see Hellion drops maybe without Blue Flame?
That would be very, very wise, but these are bronze players, so always predict the unpredictable. We'll probably see medevacs being flown to the back of Wyattearp's base. Actually, we are going for a 1 barracks, multiple medevac build. Oh, Vikings, actually.
No, we're not. We're going Vikings.
So we're going heavy Vikings with the 7 Marines to complement those Vikings against a non-air army. So this could be very good for Infamous. Yeah, I have no way of... I don't have a segue for something like this. I don't know how to go off of multiple Vikings this early. But we are seeing it. We're bringing the 2 Vikings over, and... maybe
because he's just going to do some scouting right now with them.
Yep. We have a decent-sized force here moving out for Wyattearp. Here comes the Vikings, though. Maybe we'll see some landed Vikings and, you know, do some damage to these SCVs. But we do have these mariners here, and Stim is almost finished. So here comes the Vikings. They are landing. They're going to be killing some SCVs here, and we're going to watch them die. Here comes the Marines, the 5 of them.
It's 5 Marines to handle this.
We need to see that Stim. We want to focus fire those guys down. Stim, get that one. It's going to be a very close fight, and that one will die. And we have a counterattack coming toward the main of Infamous, and walking his units into the bunker. Usually, when you're moving and not set to attack, and you walk into a bunker, more than likely your units will die. So keep that in mind when you're moving around the map, and especially when you're not set to attack. Now, Siege Tech is almost finished, and right now, Infamous has a pretty good advantage because he did not just throw away his entire army. Only 2 Vikings. Now, income tab is 28 for Infamous, 20 for Wyattearp, and Infamous is also expanding. So, good play from him. Wyattearp is finally getting that factory. We do have the engineering bay down. I'm curious as to why that is, and we have a couple units just sitting around here.
Yeah, Infamous has the tech advantage, the army advantage, and the income advantage right now.
So usually, when you have an advantage of 3 different types of things compared to nothing, you're usually in a pretty good position. And we are seeing a drop coming here for Infamous, and this rock is being taken out. So, if I was Infamous right now, I would hold off on this drop for a couple seconds, keep it over here, and wait for this army to move forward toward his rock.
Do you see what I see?
I do not see what you see.
Fusion core.
Fusion core. Oh. So, Infamous is actually getting battlecruisers because when you have a reactor on your starport, you can build 0 battlecruisers. I would like to point that out to all our viewers. But we are moving it now, which is awesome. We're moving a barracks over to that, and we're building that tech lab.
Why did he just cancel what he was building on that barracks?
I do not know.
Okay, never mind.
And we are moving out with our expansion, and this is an interesting game, guys, I have to say. Wyattearp's doing a good job of his very little harassment he's doing, and not Wyattearp, Infamous is, and it's looking good for Infamous. Right now, the harvester count is 18 for Wyattearp, 33 for Infamous. So, Infamous is lead right now. The only way Wyattearp's going to be able to win this is he pulls off something amazing. And since all he has right now is Marines, and we have siege tanks for Infamous, I really don't see how Infamous is going to be able to, Wyattearp's going to be able to pull us out. But we can never ever doubt the Bronze Leaguers.
And Infamous is building a bunker in the base of his opponent right now. In a completely obsolete location.
Well, what he's probably going to do is bring the drop over, have a second bunker here so he can get all 8 Marines into it, and just poke and prod, fall back to this bunker to where he's constantly able to keep up pressure, which is a very interesting build. This amount of pressure can throw off any Bronze League player just because you don't know how to rack. And we have our first battlecruiser being produced. Now, I would have liked to see Infamous build a second bunker because bunkers only hold 4 units, and he's killing off his medevac slightly.
Targeting down the mules first, that's smart.
And here comes a huge force from Wyattearp running into the bunker, and
everything's gonna die.
Bye-bye medevac, and this bunker is going to be forfeit, and yeah. But Wyattearp is currently on 16 harvesters. And what's his name? Infamous has 22 more, so that's a huge lead. If we go to economy, 3 times as strong as a mineral intake right now from Infamous, and we have our first battlecruiser on the map. And in case you were curious, guys, 1 battlecruiser is more than none. And anytime there's more battlecruisers than none on the map, it is an amazing game. And we have Wyattearp moving out with his attack, but this siege tank is in perfect position. They're not even going to be able to take out this rocks, and we're probably going to see Wyattearp lose several Marines in this push. Second battlecruiser is being produced right now, and Infamous is building 4 more barracks. He realizes how strong his economy was. He's not really, using his production facilities as best he possibly can, and he got a huge income of minerals there. So he's like, okay, let's put on more production facilities. Now, here's what I was talking about, the siege tanks doing what they do. They are going to be sieging and blasting like tanks normally do and stopping this form of attack. Now, I don't think Infamous should have brought that siege tank any closer. What that does is allows Wyattearp to get close enough to this wall to be able to snipe off that siege tank with his medevac vision. Now, we are loading up these 2 medevacs. Looks like we're getting ready for a drop. And, yeah, nothing really more to say here.
And we actually have a Hellion drop coming right now from Infamous. See if he's going to be able to do any damage with this. Targeting down a couple of Marines right now. But we do have more Marines heading back, so this is going to be handled pretty easily.
Now food count's 133 for Infamous and 66 for Wyattearp. So it's obvious who won this game. There is no way Wyattearp is going to be able to make a recovery here. He's still on 1 base, 18 Harvesters mining, and if we look at this force from Infamous, we have plenty of battle cruisers, we have siege tanks, we have over double the army size, and it's just, yeah, he's probably going to win. Now we have this double drop over here that could do quite a good amount of damage, but he would have to do an extreme amount of damage. And it looks like we're coming in for that drop finally. Here we go. Drop time. Now we have to be careful of the siege tank over here. Don't want to get too close to it. Stimming immediately, picking off lots of SCVs here, and Infamous is reacting so slow to this. He's just not pulling his SCVs. We're stimming our Marines in here, and didn't drop all his units, loading up, but slow reaction time. He's going to lose both the medevacs, and that was a huge loss for Wyattearp. Food count just got devastated by losing those 2 medevacs full of Marines.
Yeah, he took out quite a few SCVs, but losing those 2 medevacs pretty much negated the damage that he did.
2 more.
And he's still sitting on 1 base. Definitely needed to expand a very
And right now, since
which he's actually doing.
He is getting that command center down, but if you look at the minerals in his base, they still have a good amount left just because he has so few harvesters. So even when this expansion is finished, the amount of SCVs we'll be able to transfer won't even be noticeable. Now, Infamous is sitting on 141 food. He's got the battle cruisers. They are floating there in their infamous glory, and right now
we have another drop going on at the natural of Infamous right now. Or not.
You know, usually when you have a drop and you just let it sit there, it gives your opponent time to react. But Infamous didn't even notice it until the drop started happening. So, Bronze League's at their finest, guys. And I really enjoy this play.
Dropping those Marines into the siege tank, actually, so they just instantly die.
But it did force the stim from Infamous. Income tab shows 35 harvesters to 21. And right now, Infamous is just drawing this out as long as possible. And he could easily walk into the base of Wyattearp right now.
Yep. He has 4 battle cruisers. That could pretty much take out.
And right now we have 3 starports right now constantly producing battlecruisers, so we have constant battlecruiser production. We have 6 right now, which the 6 battlecruisers could probably take out this army by itself. We don't have very many Marines here.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, we have Infamous just moving out with this huge army, 183 food, several Marines here, several battlecruisers. We have 6 right here, and we have 3 more almost finished. So, you know, Wyattearp is going to be completely overwhelmed here. We have 86 food for him, over 100 food differential here, and yeah, Infamous is just going to stroll right into this base, and just shows you, yeah, just shows you. Nothing really, doesn't really show you anything, it just shows you.
Shows you.
Yeah.
Shows it.
So there's the stim. Here comes the battle cruisers, and Wyattearp losing his entire army, down to 24 food.
That was a pretty close fight.
Yep, there's the GG, and then Infamous dancing with his Marines, taking a cocky little glory here, and then that is game over. Infamous winning the Bronze League final, getting $25 PayPal cash, and a 2-hour training session from us. So interesting 2 games there, and yeah, it was fun to cast, and we'll be moving on to the next final very soon.